Hi, and welcome to KWSM's live feed of Social Media Help Desk. I'm very sorry we're a little bit late. We're going to talk about why in just a second. I am Alexandra, standing in for Katie, and here I am joined with Layla and Isaac.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about quite a few different things, all good, all relevant. We're going to go through our news. Now, with the brand new news that Facebook is giving us trouble, we're also going to talk about using video trouble. How's your experience been today?
It's been pretty congested, I'd say.
Yeah.
Facebook's traffic is a bit hectic today, to say the least, but that's how it goes on the world's biggest social media platform, right?
This is true.
Yeah.
Stuff like a turkey.
It's also reporting that it's causing problems on Instagram. I don't usually am on Instagram during the day, so I don't see anything. But yeah, if anybody is noticing some slowness, or that you can't get the site to load, or that we even had trouble getting the live feed to show up, that is why. They've reported that they are looking for a bug. They've given us nothing yet. They came in at about like 11 o'clock this morning and said, yeah, we're still trying to figure it out. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's the first thing. This is like breaking news, guys. That happened probably this morning. Next up, things that are coming in this coming weeks. One, LinkedIn is showing content suggestions. This is really good for if you are putting out articles on LinkedIn. What it's now doing is letting other users get suggestions of like, hey, you like, these companies, or you're paired up with these people, you've got a link between people. It's going to give you, different articles that you could look at. It's going to essentially let you post articles, information, whatnot, and it's going to go to target demographics. So they keep upping their game recently.
Yeah. This LinkedIn feature was sort of already available before. You just had to really know where to click. But you can go into the search bar and look at the different posts that people are making that are relevant to your industry. And so now it shows up in your actual company page. There should be a tab. I think as of yesterday, not all of the clients that we have on LinkedIn were converted yet. So I think they're doing a slow rollout. And if you don't see it on your LinkedIn, you'll see it hopefully in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to really promote content for your business. I mean, even if you're not really in marketing, it's great to know what other people are looking for and what content's actually going to reach them. So professionals should really look into using this and start using it on a regular basis.
I mean, it's really just something that we've been seeing for a while. I mean, Facebook does this already, where it recommends like, oh, I noticed that you like this, or a bunch of your friends like this.
Yeah, its CEOs seem to have hinted about it a lot, but it's going to be a tall order. I mean, how's it going to work? How far back are they going to let you edit tweets? Are you going to edit tweets from the beginning?
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, because all they said was they've been thinking about it for a while and they want to make sure it's done right. Which, what is the right way to allow you to edit a tweet? I'm not really sure. I thought the whole point was that everything was like relevant and on the spot, which is why they didn't do it before.
True.
I don't know. Do you guys think it's a good idea?
As a person who is managing a Twitter, I think it's a great idea. But for the rawness that Twitter has to offer, I think allowing people to edit these tweets, the kafif is all of a sudden not a thing anymore, because you can't go back in or right now, and that really allows for a moment in time that you say something and you have to stand behind that. And if people choose to retweet that, that is the message they're retweeting. And there comes this whole other problem is, if you do decide to retweet something and that person that originally posted that content updates it, does your tweet on your Twitter also get updated?
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Logistics, yeah. How's this going to work?
Because I can imagine this being abused then, is somebody saying something very profound that everybody loves, it gets retweeted, next thing you know, somebody has either hacked into the account or they did it on purpose so they could edit it. Like if it allows that, that could get really sticky really quickly.
It might be tweet bait going around now, right?
Yeah. I mean, already Twitter is just one of those places where, when stuff happens and people like screenshot it immediately because they know that someone's going to delete it, usually if it's something inflammatory. I just don't know what this would do to that. I'm sure we would evolve to figure that out, I guess.
Screenshots will go up, I guess. Yeah.
Probably. We'd probably be checking everything. Be like, no, I'd be screenshotting my own stuff to make sure it got through.
Which that is also an interesting thing you bring up there. If Twitter doesn't become a reliable, this was the tweet that was originally posted, you can't embed these tweets in blogs anymore, and instead you'll be embedding screenshots of tweets, which would hurt the traffic Twitter gets. So I don't
That's
know
a good
if
point.
Twitter would want to do that.
Maybe they'll implement something like you have a time limit. Like you only have X amount of time to edit this before.
Okay.
Like that would be, I
Good
think,
idea.
the smart way to do it. Just so that you can make sure that like, yeah, we're going to give you like 15 minutes to fix this. Or not even that much. You get 2 minutes, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
Because it's such a, like an instant like response, like call and response style social media
Right.
site. If you took that away, why are we doing it?
Almost like email. Like you can unsend some email, but like
Yeah.
you can't like unsend an email you sent 2 months ago.
Right, exactly.
It's done.
It's too late. It's out there. So last in the news is very relevant because we're getting ready for Christmas, and so is Instagram. They are implementing some save features and a shop tab in order for you as advertisers to say, okay, here's a video of my product, or here's something, a service that I'm selling. And as that's a sponsored one, they can then save it, kind of like now they have the ones that you can mark and say, like, I want this in my collection. What's that called? It's not collections.
No, it's a
Isn't it
shop
just-
list, right?
No,
It's going to be a shop list. I
It's
think
going
right
to be
now
a
it's
shop
called
list.
Saved.
Saved ones, right.
Okay.
So it's going to be a shop list. This is why I have content editors talking to me. I don't do the content necessarily. So what this is going to be really good for, though, is that I've bought things off of Instagram. So when you can save it and go back to it later, because there's been times where I try and find something later. I was like, it's gone. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really helpful. What are your thoughts on getting that?
I don't know. It's an interesting thing for a company, because I wonder if we would then, as a business owner who has gone ahead and posted that video, if we would get data back on that. How many people saved our ad? So it would become this whole other spectrum of things to target.
Yeah, that would be really good for retargeting. Because I don't think when you save something right now, it doesn't notify anybody that you've... Because there's not
It's
like
all under the wraps.
It's all, yeah, it's all hidden, but, you know, Instagram knows.
Right.
So are they going to release that data? I would imagine they would,
Potentially.
potentially.
They should. They should
They
put
sh-
in the analytics.
Yeah,
Right.
it just seems like it would be the smart thing to
Yeah.
do, and it's going to increase people who are paying Instagram for ads and sponsored posts and things like that, because then it's going to be like, oh, now I definitely want to do this. I'm going to get information back.
Yeah. If they don't, we'll be surprised.
I would be surprised. I would definitely be surprised. So that is actually going to lead into our first topic, which I know we all want to talk about Black Friday and Thanksgiving. We're talking about that at the end. Stick around. But first, we're going to talk about video. You, Layla, are going to let us know, what about video are we talking about?
Yeah, so I mean, video has become one of the most sought after forms of content. It's known that comparing that to image, that people retain 95% more of the information if they see it in video as opposed to seeing it in a photo. So that, as a business owner, should immediately convince you to take out the camera and start filming your team. But we were primarily wanting to discuss, once you have this video, what do you do with it? Because obviously leaving the video in your Dropbox folder is not going to get it out there and is not going to get you all those Instagram saves. So I think the first and most relevant one right now is to put your your video on social media.
Yep.
So we've talked about Instagram. Facebook is another really good platform to put your video, and we actually recommend putting it natively. So
Right. And what's the reason for that?
so first of all, what native is you upload it straight from your computer onto Facebook. And the reason is that Facebook recognizes it is original content, and it's not going to send its users off to Vimeo or off to YouTube. So it prefers that content, and it gives you more reach. It allows you to be seen by more people. And I've read some statistics on it that it's actually 10 times more reach. Same thing with LinkedIn.
That's a lot.
If you update your content natively and you put it on LinkedIn straight from your computer, you are seeing 5 times more video views as normal.
And that makes sense because Facebook wants to keep users on the site because that's how they're making money, is by ads and keeping them there. And if a video is on YouTube, that's their competitor, which is Google, because that's who owns YouTube. And so they don't want them going off to YouTube's site where they're going to have their own ads that they're running.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's good for reach. Where else can we use? What other social media platforms are there that would be good for video? Is there
Surprisingly, Twitter is also a really good one for
Oh.
video. Yeah, they allow you to upload videos of any length, so that is useful. And then LinkedIn is also a really great one.
Okay.
So as mentioned before, if you upload things to LinkedIn natively, you will get more eyeballs on your content, and it allows you to get people to comment on your information, ask you questions, which just it creates another whole layer of interest for these people who are on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to that, LinkedIn is adding this content suggestions. Those videos could very well be part of that too.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And so then another entire place that you can choose to put your video is on your website. So I know, Alexandra, you'll be able to provide some insight given your website background. But yeah, putting video on your website really helps with the ranking that Google gives you.
Google loves video. They love it. It's something that, like, when Google crawls your site and looks for things, and you've added video and you have video on multiple pages of unique content, especially if they're YouTube, they're gonna like that too. It bumps up your SEO. It's like very helpful. So it recognizes that original content, and that's a good place to keep it.
Yeah, definitely. And coming from it as a standpoint of a content editor, it also helps keep people on your site a lot longer. Because if you are just providing them text and photos, they'll skim over it, they'll maybe read your headlines, and they'll make a buying decision. But if you provide them a whole video to watch, they'll give you at least like a minute of their time to see that video, to see what you're about, which, you know, is worth thousands of words to be able to show your face to the people who are on your website. Yeah,
and a lot of the videos that we help produce here are for a variety of businesses. It's not just like one type of business is going to benefit from video. If you are selling things, it's really good to showcase what you're selling. If you are providing a service, it's really good to talk about what your services are. Just general about your business videos are so helpful, especially on the homepage, because what we like to do is, as you well know, is tell a story, and we want to tell your story. And what that means is we're going to let your voice be the one that speaks, and having that on your website creates like an interaction, whether the viewer realizes it or not. You get a feel for who that person is and who you are going to be working with, and it helps with them making a decision. Yeah.
And so the last one is to put video in your advertising strategy. So the reason for that is that people are actually more likely, 64% more likely to make a purchase from you after they've seen you on video.
That's a serious increase that I don't think a lot of people realize.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all consumers. What are your thoughts on video? Like, does that help your buying decisions?
Absolutely. I feel like whenever you read like maybe ad text for like, you know, some product you want to buy, or like for a gift or somebody, you will skim it, don't you? As opposed to video where, you know, there's music sometimes in the background, there's great shots. It really pulls you in, I think, and, you know, it really converts you to buy.
I think in particular for me, as I'm such a sucker for the ones that are like interesting gadgets. This is just a whole personal story. Just excuse me in my tangent, but you know, when you're watching a video and they're doing like the crafty overhead shot and they're showing you how it works and how you can use it, you kind of go, oh, I didn't even think of that. I could use that, you know. And so I think that is why we do see so many videos on Instagram of like, here's this gadget that I know you need. Yeah, I don't know, it increases for me.
Yeah, I think for me as well, especially like you said with the gadgets, like if I see the product in motion, I see it on a person's body, like yoga pants. You know, I was so much more inclined to buy Fabletics when I saw them take the phone and shove it in their pants.
I have those.
That is so cool.
I keep looking at those too every time they come up. I haven't bought them yet, but I keep looking at them. I'm like, man, I need some of those.
Yeah.
It's probably going to happen.
And the great thing is that if you do catch someone's eye and they choose to watch your video, even if it's only for 3 seconds, if you are using that in an advertisement, you can actually then take that audience and send them another ad. So it helps as an advertiser because you know exactly how long a person watched that video and caught your attention. So if you put a 15-second video up there and everyone who watched at least 25% of it, you can send them another ad, and you'll know with pretty high confidence that these people have spent at least, 4 seconds with your brand. So if you have that little qualifier, it tends to make your ads a lot cheaper, just because these people are already showing some sort of interest in your your product.
Yeah, and I see the retargeting happen to me all the time, and it's like, just don't be surprised. It's cross-platform. Like, I'll be watching something on YouTube and then go onto my phone on Facebook, and I'll scroll a little bit, and next thing you know, it's like an ad for exactly what I happen to be watching, and I'm like, well, they already know. So you're gonna see the retargeting, but it works, and that's the point, is get it in front of that audience who spent enough time thinking about it.
Yeah, and especially it's going to be happening for the next few days, because Black Friday is coming up, followed up by Small Business Saturday, followed by Cyber Monday, and all these people want to sell to you in this weekend. So
this weekend and the following weeks leading up to the holidays. So speaking of, how is the best way for us to, some last minute tips, tricks, anything? What you got?
There's actually 4 ways that you should really approach social media campaigns this Black Friday. The first one's polling. People love to have their opinions really heard by companies. This has been, this actually isn't something new. I remember a while back, they had like a poll to see what should the new M&M color be. And now on social media, it's so easy to run polls, like on Instagram, for example. You can ask questions to advertisers. You can fill out a poll to pick a new product or a color for a product. It's a great way to really engage with your audience.
And it gives you some insight, I think, of like, what are they thinking?
Exactly, yeah. You can figure out what your customers are thinking, what they're interested in. It might actually surprise you and your own internal marketing team, yeah. So definitely set up some polls and see what's going on there. Also, this is a great opportunity to thank, just like Thanksgiving, thank your followers, thank your customers, thank your audience. They support you, they keep you in business. You should be able to show some appreciation to them too. So,
I like that. To me, when a brand says thank you and they genuinely mean it, they're not using that post as an opportunity to sell me something. They just purely say, we appreciate that you're part of this secret club, which is, their email list. To me, that feels like I'm in. I'm more likely then to actually check out what they're doing for this time period, because they show that they appreciate me.
Well, it kind of endears you to them. So then it's like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I feel like I am part of this. Like they think about me, and I get to, and it's what we do, and we do want to thank we want to thank, our clients that work with us, and we think that it's a great way to engage with, your audience, especially because you can say thank you in so many different ways, and depending on the voice of your brand, it's going to be either really fun or very heartfelt or whatever is going to work in your brand, but you can get really creative with it.
Definitely.
Yeah. And if you use your email list, or you decide to do something a little bit more personalized, throw in some first name, and you have that much more layer of personality to it. So, really try to customize it to the individual. That is my 2 cents on that.
That's good. No, that's very, very good.
That's great. Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like I just got a mass email that I know went to like 11 million people.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of personality, another thing you should do is partner with an influencer.
Yeah.
Influencers might have great, Thanksgiving activities or promotions going on themselves. So why not partner with one that's in your same industry?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I can think of like plenty of influencers in cases where they've got something like leading up even to, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, whatnot, and giving like personalized promo code, like codes that go out with like, here you're going to get this discount and whatnot. And if it's the right audience, you're going to stretch that out.
Exactly, yeah. Why not have somebody else help you out? And last but not least, of course, is to have a promotion, a sale. It's Black Friday. That's the whole point. So you better have one for your business, whether it's a service or a product.
Yeah. What are some good ideas for promotions that we could do?
You could do discounts. You could do everything from maybe helping new business sign-ups or rewarding existing businesses like they've had for a long time clients and customers.
Oh yeah, like if you have layered services, you could have, one that's gonna, be like, okay, you can, if you up your service, that we'll give you a discount for this year or for the next 6 months or whatnot.
Exactly, yeah.
There's a lot of ways to do it. So.
And my favorite one is also when they do buy one get one or refer a friend, because that it builds your audience.
Yeah,
it's a way to, especially if you're selling a product or a service that really only is for one person at a time. If you say something like, give thanks, or share this with your friends and let them be in on the deal, these are ways to, in a very short window, to get people to get a discount themselves by bringing another person in on it, which for a business is great, the more eyeballs.
And I always used to think that was kind of like scary as like a consumer, where it was like, oh, I have to like send something to a friend of mine to get this discount. At the same time though, I found myself that I do it all the time now. Because there's products that I know that I'm interested in, or services that I'm interested in, that I'm like, you are going to want to do this.
Yeah.
And so it's like an easy way to do it.
And it works best for businesses anyways, because nothing's better than word of mouth, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's entire industries that I know are based entirely on, someone suggesting a business to someone else. So it's like all referrals is where most of their marketing comes from. But it can't hurt to kind of create that feeling of referrals.
Yeah. Prompt your customers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we talk about a lot too, is always giving your clients or your visitors or whoever you are trying, your audience that you're talking to, a directive, like what's the next thing that they need to do. And that really buttons up all of this conversation, because your video is going to direct them to something, and this Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday are going to direct them to something. And just in general, when it comes to it, just giving them a clear direction. So that's how I feel about it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us at Social Media Help Desk on this Tuesday. We're sorry for being a little bit late. We will probably keep you updated on Facebook's slowness at some point. Hopefully it figures it out before Black Friday. That's dangerous. I can tell you that right now. They're probably shaking their boots right now, I'm going to be honest. So if you have any other questions for us that you'd like us to answer, go ahead and email us at tips@kwsmdigital.com, or you can visit our website, kwsmdigital.com. Again, my name is Alexandra, standing in for Katie, Layla, and Isaac, content editors, and we hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving.